Hello, what is poppin', guys? And today we are going to be going over important CSS styles, in particular display styles and width and height. Hopefully we can get both of these done in the same video. If not, I will have to make a part 2. We'll see how long it takes. So with display styles, I'm not going to go over every single display style. I will try to go over some of the most commonly used ones. So that would be I'm going to go over display colon block, display colon inline, inline, then inline block, and a display none. And I will also just give a basic introduction to display flex. So let's start off with our basic display units. I have got this simple HTML project open over here. It's linked to this style sheet practice.css over here with a couple of classes, which I'm going to use to explain to you guys. All that the website has right now is the body tags, the div tags, and that basic stuff. So let's open up our live server. We see these two divisions, right? BME FBLA here and BME FBLA over here. But what if we want to put both of these divisions on the same line? So you can see that this division is like this and this division is like this. The reason why they are not appearing on the same line is because they are set to display block, which is the default style, which pretty much every single HTML element has. Again, pretty much every single, meaning not every single HTML element has this display. And what this display does is it creates a line break between the elements. So this div class will have a line break, then it'll go into this div class that has a line break. So if I want these to be on the same line to eliminate the line break, what I could do is I can give it the class inline, and if I give this the class inline as well. And just so you know, I have to actually describe what this class does. So in practice.css, I have the class .inline display inline with colon 500 pixels because I want to show you something about this class inline, about this display type. Now we can see that they're both coming up on the same line. But we had set their width to 500 pixels, right? We had set these guys' width over here to 500 pixels, and it's not working. Well, that's because this class inline does not respect width as well as padding and margins as well, occasionally depending. So if you want it to properly respect the width, you would have to give it the class inline block. So what inline block does is, let me do this inline and inline dash block. What inline block does is it makes the elements on the same line, so it will eliminate the line break, but it will also respect the block properties as well. So like, you know, the padding, the margins, the width, things like that, the width height. So now we can see that the width has worked and they each have their 500 pixel width and there is no line break. They're both being displayed on the same line. Now we're going to get into display none. So if I just set to the display to none instead of inline block, let me just change this to none. And again, both of these elements have the class inline block. We see that nothing shows up. That's exactly what display none does. It makes the element not show up. And display none also removes it from impacting the rest of the layout, meaning that these elements have no width and they have no height on the page at the moment. Display colon none. To set them back to a block level element, we could just change it to display block and it would set back. And the reason why this class display none would be used is, let's say you have a particular element which you don't want to show until the user presses a certain button. Then you can use JavaScript to change the element display class to display colon block once the user has pressed the button which you would like the user to press, and then it'll show up, it'll show that particular element. So that's why you'd use the display colon none, the none class. At least that's the most common use of the display colon none class. But anyways, for now, we'll just bring it back to inline block. So that's display none. Now, lastly, another one is display flex. So I can remove these two. So let me just do this. I'm pressing Command or Control if you are on a Windows PC, which I'm actually on. I don't know why I said Command. I've just been using a Mac lately, so sometimes I get confused between the two. Anyways, so the div class flex. Now, flex just has a display to flex, and this actually works as well. It puts these two elements right next to one another. I'm not going to go over Flexbox in this particular video just because there's so much content that you can find on Flexbox online on YouTube and things. However, if you like my teaching style and if you really like these videos, then write in the comments that you would like me to make something on Flexbox, and I will do it. You know, if I see demand, I'll do it. But at least for now, I'm not going to go too much into Flexbox because you can already find so much content online with regards to Flexbox. And again, now just some useful sources with regards to CSS styles is this website. Actually, I'm using a lot of the CSS properties that these guys use as the 9 most important CSS properties to teach to you guys. For the most part, they describe things well. They give you a basic description. The one thing that you don't really have to, and you should take a look at these styles, understand how all of these styles work, because you will be using them a lot. The one exception is this floats. You will very rarely be using floats. Flexbox has pretty much made them almost obsolete. I very rarely see people using floats nowadays in website development. So those are your basic inline block styles. Another good resource for the practicing with these inline block styles is this. So go to this site, do W3 Schools, and then just find their CSS, this one, inline block, and then you can kind of play around with it, see how it works, change these things, and you can run the code to see what happens. So that's a good one as well. Now, we've gone over all of these, so now we're going to go over. Okay, guys, so I've taken a look at the recording time, and I've realized that we're going to save this width and height for the next, for our next video, because it's just going to take too long, and I don't want to make like 15, 16-minute videos. So that's for the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.